At least 90 people have been reported dead following the onslaught of Typhoon Odette. Some COVID-19 vaccines were wasted after Odette caused power outages in Visayas and Mindanao. Some presidential candidates visited areas ravaged by the typhoon over the weekend. Bus terminals in Metro Manila are now starting to get busy, less than a week before Christmas. And this year's Metro Manila Film Festival brings its annual Parade of Stars to Pasig River. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Over 90 people have been reported dead due to Odette, the strongest typhoon to hit the country this year. However, this figure is still likely to rise as disaster agencies continue to assess the damage caused by Odette. The death toll includes 63 people from Bohol, as well as 10 who reportedly died in Dinagat. This brings the total reported deaths to at least 99 as of yesterday afternoon. Meanwhile, over 300,000 people evacuated as Typhoon Odette ravaged parts of Visayas and Mindanao. Even the delivery and rollout of vaccines in some areas were affected by the typhoon. Health Undersecretary Mirna Cabotaje said it's also possible that some vaccine doses have been rendered useless. Remember that vaccines need to be stored at specific temperatures, something that was not possible with the power outages that hit different provinces in Visayas and Mindanao. Cabotaje clarifies, though, that Pfizer, Moderna, and Sputnik V shots that were in the freezer may still be good after 2 days. However, authorities say that they have to ensure that the temperature of these vials will not drop below the recommended level. But if LGUs are uncertain, the DOH advises them to set these compromised doses aside and let the agency assess these first.
Just in case, pag-monitor nila 4 times a day, nagfa-fluctuate na hindi ma-maintain yung temperature. Ang aming directive sa kanila, ibakuna na kung pwedeng ibakuna.
Presidential candidates stepped up their efforts over the weekend to provide assistance to the victims of Typhoon Odette. Vice President Leni Robredo joined the authorities on the ground, visiting areas heavily battered by Odette in Cebu, Bohol, and Surigao. Robredo requested local airlines for flights from Siargao, as many tourists remain stranded on the island. The Vice President also visited other parts of Surigao, as well as Dinagat and southern Leyte, where she distributed relief goods to the people affected. Meanwhile, Senator Manny Pacquiao conducted an aerial inspection over Cebu, and after assessing the extent of the damage caused by Odette, his team distributed generators to various parts of the province that had lost power. Pacquiao's team has also sent out its first batch of relief goods for affected families in Cebu. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno also arrived in Cebu to provide aid to those affected by the typhoon, and he turned over supplies of vitamins for children and senior citizens to Cebu City's local government. He also provided cash and relief assistance for the LGU, and the Manila Mayor says more relief goods will arrive today in the other areas of Visayas in Mindanao, including Bohol, Leyte, Antique, and Iloilo. Meanwhile, former Senator Bongbong Marcos was present at the turnover of relief goods for typhoon victims in southern Leyte. The Bongbong Sara tandem says it is continuing relief operations in affected areas in Leyte, Butuan, Cebu, Bohol, and Masbate. Typhoon Odette also left many businesses and airports shuttered due to its devastating impact. In Surigao City, all buildings were heavily damaged, if not completely wiped out. Gemma Vansenia has the rest of the story.
A day after Typhoon Odette ravaged much of Caraga, our team tried to enter the heavily battered province of Surigao del Norte. Travel was not easy due to landslides and toppled trees. When we reached Surigao City, the trail of destruction left by the typhoon became more noticeable. Electric poles were toppled and communication lines were down. All buildings were heavily damaged, if not totally destroyed. Roofs were folded by the strong winds. We also saw some residents at the side of the road, now homeless. Anesito Manos was wounded after he was hit by debris during Odette's onslaught.
Grabe talaga yung bagyong yun. Ubus lahat ng bahay. Sira. Nagliparan yung mga bubong kaya dito kami sa baluster ng kalsada nagtago.
As we continued our rounds in the city, we saw these trucks brought down by the gusty winds. Michael Aborquez told us that he and his colleagues had to hold on to a power post during the storm because of strong winds. They survived the ordeal but not their trucks.
Nakita po namin, umangat talaga siya, inangat ng hangin. Tapos pagbagsak niya, nakatayo pa siya. Tapos yung sunod na hampas ng malakas na hangin, ma'am, tumumba na siya. Takot na takot kami, ma'am. Kasi ang pakiramdam namin, ma'am, sabi ko nga sa sarili ko, bahala na kung anong mangyari. Bahala na ang Diyos na iligtas kami.
The city's airport was also not spared. Airport operations are still suspended since the runway is full of debris. The port of Lipata is closed also because of debris brought by the typhoon.
This is under investigation sa engineering kung safe pa ba itong gamitin sa mga biyahero o sa barko. Kasi pag hindi safe, ito ay i-close muna namin for renovation or rehabilitation. So for the meantime, kapag i-close ito, lahat ng barko dito ay doon muna sa Surigao port maggamit.
This group of fishermen came all the way from the Nagat Islands just to seek aid. The island was also ravaged by Odette and food there is already scarce.
Kain talaga. Buko lang kinain namin sa yung mga patay na baboy. Kinakatay na lang namin. Gutom na, yung mga bata namin. Walang makain talaga. Nawagan kami sa presidente na bigyan kami ng ayuda.
Kahit mga damit, wala.
Damit, wala. Ito lang. Ninakaw ko mga ito sa sampayan. Walang talagang damit.
Kailangan magpadala sila ng maraming tubig kasi nahihirapan kami nito. Tingnan mo. Ang dami namin dito nakapila. Ang COVID, wala na. Nagdikit-dikit na kami. Ang iba, wala pang mask.
Residents are resorting to a local spring water source to take a bath and to wash their clothes. They say it seems like their LGU has forgotten to send them help.
Walang kwenta, walang parang tulog. Parang lahat ng politiko rito napadpad sa bagyo.
But despite the situation, the unwavering spirit of the people of Surigao still shines through.
Ganyan talaga, ma'am. Dapat masaya lang.
For News 5, Jem Avancenia, we are One News.
Metro Manila terminals are now busier than ever as more people rush to catch a ride to their provinces for the holidays. Camille Samonte has the report.
A long queue greeted several passengers at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange on Sunday. More people are going home to their provinces for the holidays. Some trips going to Bicol and Camarines Sur are already fully booked. Still, some passengers are staying there for hours in hopes of getting tickets.
Medyo mahirap po kasi gaya nito, uwing-uwi na, gustong-gusto na ako, may excited na, tapos daming pila. Tiis-tiis na lang din po. Hanggang bukas na po, baka kami dito, baka 24 hours pa kami dito.
Medyo na-hassle po kami kasi kahapon po kami dito, bumalik lang po kami ngayon. Nagbaka sakali kaming makakuha ng ticket, yun naman, pinalad kami. Kami ay nakakuha ng ticket ngayon para makauwi kami.
Some passengers booked their tickets in advance to avoid the hassle.
Kasi po, pag abutin pa ng 23, masyadong pila na eh.
The PITX management said the foot traffic at the terminal has reached more than 100,000 this weekend. They expect this number to increase further as the Christmas day nears. The situation over at the Araneta bus station, meanwhile, is very different. With the routes only limited to Pampanga, Bulacan, and Tarlac, only a few passengers were seen going home to their provinces. Some are complaining of the limited routes.
Ang hirap po, katulad po ngayon, magkakating po ako. Dapat po sana, diretso na po yung sakay ko. Hanggang biyahe pong Baguio or Ilocos po. Mas maganda po yung dati, wala pang pandemic. Isang sakayan lang po.
Sasakay po ng ma'am, biyaheng Bicol. Kala ko meron pa dito na kasi dati meron dito eh. Mapapalayo pa eh. Pupunta pa ng PITX, medyo mapalayo pa.
Authorities remind passengers to check the requirements needed in their destination prior to their travel. They also advise them to book their tickets in advance. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
The Metro Manila Film Festival's annual Parade of Stars took a different route this year, as the MMFF chose to hold the first ever fluvial parade. 8 ferry boats sailed along the Pasig River on Sunday despite the downpour. And the fluvial parade began at the Guadalupe ferry station and ended in Circuit Makati. MMDA Chairman Benher Abalos praised the staging of the historic parade, especially since this also marks the return of the MMFF to cinemas amid the easing of restrictions to Alert Level 2.
Ang dami na natin pinagdaanan, no? May bagyo, may eruption ng volcano, may pandemic, no? Ang dami na. Pero ngayon talagang tuloy-tuloy na ito, no? Ito'y para sa industriya, para sa ating lahat. At least at the end of the year itong Christmas, makita natin ang pinaghandaan ng ating industriya, no? Tandaan po ninyo at ito iisipin na ang mga pelikulang ito, nung sinut ito, kalagitnaan ng pandemic. Iko-compute nyo, come to think about it. Gumasto sa mga producer, andyan ang mga artista, andyan silang lahat without knowing kung magbubukas ang sinihan o hindi. Hindi ba? Kaya now it's about time, ibalik natin, tangkilikin natin ang pelikulang Pilipino, suportahan po natin ang Metro Manila Film Fest.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 9 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.